Welcome back to Skydog Reviews. If you have seen any of my other videos, you notice my backdrop's a little different. Out on the road this week, so we're doing this one remote, and there's good reason. What I'm reviewing today is a game. It's called Mariole. It's tell by the name, it's French. It's based on the game of Pétanque. Very similar to a game of bocce, if you're familiar with that. Most Americans are probably more familiar with bocce than any other traditional bouls game. But basically, the history of these games dates back to 60 BC. They've been started and stopped throughout history, just due to trials and tribulations of Europe. Periods of the royalty deciding folks are having too much fun, so we banned it for non-royalty. But getting back in the 1800s, these games started to become more commonplace in Europe. I said bocce is probably, like I said, more familiar to folks. It's more of an Italian descent game. And then Pétanque in the early 1900s. There was a gentleman who invented it, had some medical conditions, couldn't necessarily walk the length of the bocce courts, as they're pretty lengthy if you've ever seen an official size bocce court. So he came up with Pétanque, which is about half the distance, maximum distance of the bocce court. How it differs with bocce, where bocce you can step and run up to your throw. Pétanque was stationary. You'd start in this fixed circle and toss the ball underhand, and it's more of an airborne game just based on the surfaces they play more like a gravel and dirt. So it's a little bit more of an airborne game than bocce is per se. You can't do airborne or can't bowl in Pétanque, but it just lent some different style. Biggest difference between two games is the number of balls you play. Where Pétanque, each side has a minimum of 3 or 6 if you're playing doubles, versus bocce where you have your 4. The game I'm going to show you, the Mariole, was actually started by a group of friends in France back in 2010. They were Pétanque players. They went out for a nice meal, which they call the well-watered meal, which one could assume we had vast consumption of wine. Got back to the apartment and decided a little too drunk to go out to the Pétanque court. So they took a wine cork and rolled up socks as their Pétanque balls. The wine cork is their cochonnet, and proceeded to create an indoor version of the game. Had so much fun with it, they started using juggling balls, and as they refined the game, and then later they came down to what you're going to see today, La Mariole. If you go on YouTube, there are videos out there for La Mariole. Unfortunately, most of them are in French. If you don't speak French, some of them do have English subtitles across the bottom. So I've been able to watch those and learn from those. There's a lot of Pétanque video techniques if you're really interested in that. But what we're looking at today is this La Mariole, which is this indoor version. Although you can play outdoors, they call it all surface. But you can play in a very confined space. You can play on a picnic table, which I'll show you later in the video. It uses balls that aren't made of, traditionally Pétanque balls made out of steel. Obviously that doesn't going to work too well in your household. But these are a nice soft material. But that being said, that is where this game comes from. And I ended up picking up a set. I found it through a Facebook ad on the internet, and started researching into it. And I'm always on the lookout. My wife and I like to play games. I haven't done any reviews of others, but I'm probably going to start doing that as well. But I'm always on the lookout for a good game to bring with us when we travel. Sometimes if it's rainy or the weather, you have really bad weather, or there's not a lot going on, there's downtime or whatever, it's nice to have a game you can play just about anywhere. And that's what La Mariole is. You can play this anywhere. You don't need a lot of space. You can use a lot of space, and it makes it a little bit more challenging, more difficult, but you don't need a lot of space. And you're not going to do any damage with this one. You're not going to break in windows, or you're not going to be damaging your hotel room or your cabin on a ship, or whatever. It's a very safe game to play. So in order to get this game, you have to go on their website, lamariole-us.com. On that website, they offer two products. They offer a single set, which consists of 6 balls, a cochinet, and a measuring string. Or you can get 2 sets, and it'll be discount. I believe the single set's $69 currently. And the 2 set, I want to say, was $129, $139. Don't quote me. It's on the website. And even though it's not anywhere close to Black Friday, they still have the Black Friday discount of 15%. Right up at the top of the website. That's been on since I bought it months ago, so there are discounts available. So the only thing they're lacking is there's not a lot of English-based YouTube videos explaining how to play the game, or even showing the game off. So hopefully we'll get that started here today. So let's say you go order it. It's going to arrive in this nice drawstring bag we're looking at here. There's the name, Mariole. It gives you, a basic set of rules on the bag. Again, it's a very flexible game, so you can kind of come up with your own rules and your own courts. But it does provide you with basic rules. What we'll go through today is how to play, kind of by like the rules. If you go to the website, they'll send you through a Pétanque videos and the rules of Pétanque. But anyways, you get the bag, and in that first bag, you get a set of 6 balls in 2 different colors. In this case, we're looking here. You have these nice blue ones, and if you look at, you get 3 in each color. And if you look at these, you can kind of see the construction. It's almost like a soccer ball, or a hacky sack if you're that generation. And it's soft. You can see it deforms under pressure, but it's still very solid. Almost feels like a beanbag would inside, but very firm, So if you play cornhole, a lot of those bags can be pretty floppy. This would be a very firm cornhole bag. It doesn't deform too much, but it does have some give to it, which makes it very safe on indoor surfaces. So in the first bag, like I said, we get 3 of the blue, we get 3 of the silver, and that's all you need if you're playing one-on-one. You also get the jackball or cochinet. If you're familiar with bocce, like a polina, that's all it is. Same kind of material. You can see the same construction, kind of like a soccer ball. A little bit of give, little beanbaggy. It's a little bit more firm than the playing balls. And then lastly, they give you a measurement string. So when you're out playing, and if you're trying to see who's closer to the target ball, you can stretch it out, put it down, and compare each ball. So a nice little handy measuring tool. Now, if you're going to be playing with 4 or 6 people, you're going to need another set of balls. You can get the same set in another set of the blue and silvers if you wish, or they also come up with a black and gold set at this time. And on the videos, there have been other colors. I don't know if that changes over time, but so far, in this case, you get these nice black ones and these nice gold ones. And you'd also get another cochinet and a measuring string in the second set. It's a little better value just when you buy the 2 sets together. A little bit of a savings there on top of the Black Friday discount. So let's get into gameplay. Like I mentioned, this is an all surface, all area game. You can play in a very limited gameplay. You can play in an expansive gameplay. Pétanque itself is the reduced version of length of bocce. This, like I said, The longer your court, the more challenging it is. But don't be afraid if you have limited space. On some of the videos I've watched, they're playing on staircases, trying to get it on the right stair. So you can come up with all sorts of different gameplay. But let's go through the actual gameplay. So the way you start a game La Mariole is you have one team throw the cochonnet. Now you can choose that via coin flip, Rochambeau, or however you wish to choose who throws first. That team throws the cochonnet downrange. They would then take, in this case, we'll just keep it with the sets. You have the person that threw the target ball or the cochonnet would then throw one of their colored balls to try to get as close as possible to the target. At this point, a player on the other team would then go ahead and throw a ball. And unlike baseball or some other games where you have a set order, when a team is up, anybody can play. So you don't have to alternate. You can have one person keep throwing to the round of balls, or you can vary back and forth, and one can throw two, one can throw one. Eventually, you're all going to throw your 6 balls. So it doesn't really matter, and they don't really care. They don't specify. Very flexible. So the second team would throw their first ball downrange. At this point, you go take a look, or you can tell right away a lot of times which team is closer. And from that point on, the team that is further away from the target ball, and in this instance, let's say that the blue one was closest to the target ball, the black one was further away. The black and gold team would then throw another ball. So they would go, and it's all underhand, no overhand, underhand. You can do it backhand, forehand, whatever you want, but just underhand, they would throw their second ball. Now, if they get the ball closer than that original blue ball, that would revert back to the blue and silver team, and in which case, either the blue player or the silver player would throw the next ball. And they would continue to throw the balls. Like I said, they throw the first one, no, the second one, no, the third one, no. Boom, they throw all their balls, and they don't get closer. So now all 6 balls from that team has been thrown, and that first black ball from the black and gold team is closer. The black and gold team will continue to throw the last 5 balls to try to get more points. And the scoring is fairly simple. So the team that is closest to the target ball will get 1 point. If their next closest ball is closer than the opponent's ball, so let's say that the next ball was a gold ball, and it was closer than that closest blue ball, they get 2 points. And then so on and so forth. They keep counting points until that other team's ball on the blue and silver team is now the closest ball. So in this case, let's say they get 3 points. They get 3 balls inside the closest opponent ball. They'd start with 3 points. Now in Mariole, they recommend playing to 9. Pétanque rules, I believe, are 13. But it's your game. You can play whatever you want, depending how long you want your game to go and the skill of the players. 9's a good starting point. We played that with my parents the other day, and it took a few. Just back and forth scoring. We weren't getting a lot of multiple balls. Usually it was like a 1-point game. So it can take a while. So that is it. That is the simple scoring. You just keep throwing there. So in that case, the end's over. Once all 6 balls have been thrown, you pick them up. And you take the target ball. The team that won the end, and that's what they call when you throw all the balls, it's called an end. Think in baseball like an inning, but it's an end. So once the end is complete, the team that scores points would then take the target ball, and you start over again. They throw the target ball, they throw their first ball, which now the black and gold team, the blue and silver team throws the ball, and then the team that's further away will throw. And it goes back and forth until all 6 balls are thrown. You'll go count points, that ends the end, and you start over again until the first team to 9, or whatever number you decide, wins. It's pretty entertaining, pretty fun. You don't need to have any set of special skills. My parents are in their 80s and enjoyed playing it. They've played bocce. My wife and I are in our 50s. We enjoy it. The balls are small enough. Again, if you want to look at these, They're a little bit smaller than I'd say a baseball, a little bit bigger than a tennis ball. They're not very heavy. They do have a little bit of weight to them. The only reason I know they weigh about, both sets combined weigh probably about 4.5 pounds, just under 5 pounds. I just noticed that when I put them in my main suitcase when we went to fly to Orlando, and when I weighed it, it seemed a little heavier than normal. It was under 50 pounds, but I then I have a packing cube. I had 2 sets in, weighed it, and it was just under 5 pounds. I was like between 4.5 and 5 pounds. So there is some mass to them, but they're not super heavy. Nothing a small child could not handle throwing. And especially if you limit the distance of the playing field, it's not a big deal. There's not going to be a lot of effort required to throw these. They're not heavy like a bocce ball or a pétanque ball, which are made out of steel. And that is Disney Transportation making all the sound in the background there. But anyways, very simple game. What I'm going to do here is I'll stop this view and I'm going to film some short demos to show you how it's played, and then I'll get right back with you to wrap this up. Okay, back with you. Let's show you some gameplay. We'll start out, we'll have 2 teams. We'll have the blue ball and silver ball together, and then the black and gold. In this case, the black and gold is going first. They're going to throw the cochinet as the target ball. And stay on. Did not. That didn't work so well. So let's, boom, we'll put it on there for you. Okay, target ball set. And again, you can play on a surface like this. It just, balls are gonna roll off the table, but you get the general idea. So the next person, in this case is the black and gold, would throw the first ball. And there you see it is right next to the cochinet. At this point, a member of the blue and silver team would throw their first ball. All right, and looking at there, just looking at the distance, you can see the black ball is sitting closer to the cochinet. So in this case, the blue and silver team is the out team. They're further away. They would throw again, and once again, doesn't matter who throws, whether blue or silver. In this case, the person with the silver balls would throw. And looking at that distance, it's close, but it looks like the blue and silver are still away. So the blue-silver team would throw another ball. And we're getting closer, but that black ball is still riding closer. So let's see, maybe we're gonna play some offense here. Boom, didn't do it. Boom, that one didn't do it. Down to their last throw for the blue and silver. I don't know if they want to get any kind of points in this game. Oh, so now they've gone and moved that black ball. Let's see what we're looking at here. You can use your measuring device, come in, distance there. So now the silver and blue team are now the closest team. With that being said, the gold and black team would now have the opportunity to play. Gold comes in, still far away, doesn't matter, blue and silver out of ball, so gold and black will continue to throw. Continue to throw. Oops, that's gone, that's not gonna be close. Ooh, look at that. Again, total legal play. We moved the jack ball or the cochinet. Now it's a lot closer, and it's black and gold are definitely closer. And then they're down to their last ball, so they would throw that. They probably don't want to mess things up. Boom. So you can now go in, take a quick look at the measurements. And let's see the closest silver ones right here. So that's it. So This silver is closer to these two golds, so the black and gold team would get 2 points on their way to the 9. So again, a pretty simple gameplay. Got to see a little bit of everything there. You can knock the opponent's ball out. You can knock the cochinet around if you wish. All to play a nice simple game of Mariole. All right, back with you with another end just to show how maybe a more traditional style of play. On the last team, black and gold won. So in this case, they would throw the cochinet out there. You get sitting out there. They would then throw their first ball. Obviously, only one out there they're closest, so blue and silver team would then go, be their turn to throw. Now looking there, the silver ball's a little closer, back to the black and gold team. Went a little long, went way long, almost went swimming there. Ooh, almost climbed that one over. They're running out of balls, so they got to get inside. All right, looking at that, now that black ball is the new closest ball to cochinet. So we revert back to the blue and silver. Again, doesn't matter the order who throws when, but the blue and silver would go in, not quite. All right, we now have another change of closest ball. The blue and silver team are now the closest ball to cochinet. The throw-in reverts back to the team further away, in this case black and gold, and they have one ball left to try to salvage any kind of points. And they went long. So now it's blue and silver, so the black and gold's out of their balls. So blue and silver now get to throw the 3 remaining balls to try to get a multiple point game. Or in some cases, you can make things worse for yourself and help the other team. So you don't want to do that. There is strategy involved. And this will be the last ball for blue and silver. And let's see, looking at blue and silver. Blue and silver, so the 3 balls are closest. That gold ball on the far side looks like it could be the next closest after those. So blue and silver in this case would take 3 points for the end, and they become the team that throws the target ball and the first ball in the next end. Very simple game, very enjoyable game. All right, welcome back to seeing my face again and seeing the other parts of me and the back of me, but I hope that game plan kind of gives you an idea of how an end would run and some of the surfaces you can play on. The picnic table is a little challenging, the balls easily roll off. A larger surface, a little bit nicer, a little bit more challenging for higher level players, the longer the distance. I know Pétanque says they want the target of cochinet between 6 and 10 meters away from your throwing circle, and they use a fixed circle. We don't have those start line rules. We just use a line or whatever, you know, wherever or a certain spot on the carpet or out in your patio or in your backyard, wherever you decide to play. So yeah, you just have that spot and you throw from there. But you can make it up as you go along. So the picnic table would be a lot of fun. It doesn't require a lot of strength, so if you have like some older folks or some younger folks that want to play, you limit the surface size and you end up getting a less challenging, but it's not like it's not challenging. You can see the ball, the cochinet rolled right off. So, you know, it depends how much friction your surface is and everything like that. But I mean, yeah, playing on the table, real simple. You can sit down and do it. You don't even have to stand up. Again, you're dealing with mobility impaired folks. It's an easy game to play on a restricted surface. So a lot of fun. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions, you can reach me in the comments. I'm usually on those pretty quick. Sometimes on vacation it takes a while, but I'll try to get back to you. Any questions you have on the game. We love it. My wife can't wait to play me again. I said we played with my parents, and me and my dad beat my wife and my mother, but we had to come back. We were down big. End up having like a 3-point end to come back. Then they went ahead. They were up 8-7, and we got a 2-point end to end it and won 9-7. So my wife's been itching to get back at me to get her some revenge on me for winning that game. So maybe we'll be playing on later on this afternoon or tomorrow morning. But fun game. I recommend it 100%. It's a little pricey, but like I said, you're dealing with high quality materials here in the balls and everything. That looks like they should last a long time. They do have warranties on the website. I don't recall the exact length of time, but everything I've read, if they've had defects, they're pretty good about replacing them. So one thing I would recommend, especially if you have folks that are mobility impaired or whatnot, and in my case, I really don't like to bending over. As I get older, my back starts to feel that more. You can go on Amazon, I'm sure pretty much else, and get grabbers. So this works really well. You can just, without bending over, you can just grab one of the balls. You can grab the cochinet. And this one's pretty short, and it also folds, fits right in the suitcase, no problem. TSA had no problems with it, so it's just a nice little thing that we carry around just to make it a little easier on our backs. Or again, I said if you're in needing mobility issues, you can use that out of a wheelchair, or you can use that out of, if you're playing on the picnic table and you're sitting on a chair, you can use that without having to get up and go around. So it's not required, just a recommendation from Skydog Reviews approved. Well, that about wraps it up. I appreciate you spending your time. I hope you find it worthwhile. I don't know, I want to do reviews on this, but there's some other games I'd like to get reviews going out on, so those should hopefully be out as time goes through in between my hat reviews. But thank you for spending your afternoon with Skydog Reviews. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you next time around.